What is good? What is going on? And welcome back to the Pick Six channel. As always, I'm your boy, I'm your host, Senor Marin. And for those of you who don't know what the heck I'm wearing and questioning why am I wearing it with a fitted hat, I could only answer one of those questions for you. I don't know why I'm wearing it with the fitted hat, but if you've been down since day one ish, you will know that we started the Pick Six show before we started the Pick Six channel. We did it on Cholo Trucker's channel, and last season I became the reigning, or this season, well, technically this year, but last season. Okay, I don't want to. I'm overcomplicating things. I'm sorry, but I became the reigning, defending, undisputed cruiserweight universal Pick Six champion of the world, and I earned my crown. Okay, and I this season, like a true defending champion, will defend this crown. Okay, against Cholo Trucker. But let's get into what I want to talk about today. All right, so I did say that I was going to make an individual video about all six teams and how I thought they were going to do this season. Unfortunately, I procrastinated like crazy, and the season's starting technically tomorrow. So, without further ado, I'm just going to cram it all into one video. Sorry. But let's get into the first team that we're talking about here today, that being the Los Oakland Raiders. Now, the Raiders did finish with a below average record. I forgot their exact record, but they finished under 500. And it was a very underwhelming season, to say the least. Because the season before that, they did make the playoffs. They had a lot going for them, and they signed Devontae Adams. A lot of people thought that they were going to get better, and the opposite wound up happening. Hold on, let me get this drink of water real quick. Sorry about that. And that was the opposite from what happened, man. They actually took a step down instead of taking a step forward. And now this offseason, they got rid of Derek Carr, and there were speculations that they might get Aaron Rodgers. There were speculations that they might even get Tom Brady. And they wound up getting none of them. They wound up getting Jimmy Garoppolo. Now, I'm not a Raider fan, but if I were, I'd be a little bit underwhelmed. Because there was a lot of talk about them getting Aaron Rodgers, man, and them trying to be in the bid. They were in the bid for Aaron Rodgers. Just to get Jimmy Garoppolo, I would have just been like, wow, that's very underwhelming. But now they have Jimmy G, and they still have Devontae Adams, Darren Waller. They still got a solid team, man. It's not like they had a bad team last season, so I don't know where the struggles come in. Maybe it's the division. I don't know. I don't know what it is, man. Maybe they just can't finish a game. But the Raiders this season, obviously they're going to have to deal with their own division, which I feel like is only getting better. The Denver Broncos didn't do well last season, but they have Sean Payton now as their head coach. I think that the Broncos are going to take a step up. Am I saying that they're going to be great? Probably not, but I just feel like the Broncos are going to be better. And they also face the AFC East, and they face the NFC North. NFC North is not that great of a division. They have the Packers, who are questionable. I'll get into them later. They have the Vikings, who are a good team, but just can't make that extra step into being a legit contender. They also have the Chicago Bears, who are in rebuilding mode. And they have the Detroit Lions, who I think is going to be a really solid team this season, man. I have high hopes for the Detroit Lions. So let's just break it down for you, man. I'm looking at the schedule. They face the Dolphins. They face, obviously, the Chiefs twice, the Chargers twice, the Lions, the Bills. I don't see the Raiders finishing above 500 this year. I don't. You know, I don't know. I don't think they have a terrible team. I don't think they have a bad team. I think there's something else going on. Maybe it's the front office or something like that. You know, because they have a solid team, man. They really do. I don't know what I don't know if it's the coaching or what. I see them finishing like 7-10 or 8-9. I don't have high hopes for the Raiders, man, and that's not because of their team. I can't tell you why. I can't tell you why. I see them finishing about 8-9 this year. The schedule's not easy either. You know, they don't have an easy schedule. Go either 7-10 or 8-9 for the Los Oakland Raiders. Hold on. Okay, having a little bit of a technical difficulty there. But now let's get into America's team, the Dallas Cowboys. Now, the Dallas Cowboys had a pretty solid year last season. I know every Cowboys fan thinks that they're going to go to the Super Bowl every year, and rightfully so. You know, it's good that you have faith in your team, right? But they wound up losing to the 49ers in the divisional round last season. And they actually, got Trey Lance this year, which I don't know exactly what they're doing there. I don't know if they're hinting that they're going to try to have Trey Lance as their starter, which I don't think they are because they did spend a lot of money on Dak Prescott, man. But let's just look at their schedule real quick. So they do have obviously their division and the Giants, the Commanders, the Eagles, and the Giants. Wait, I said all the teams. Yeah, I don't know. I think I said all the teams. But their division is not the best. The Commanders are not a great team. The Giants are, I don't know. They kind of exceeded expectations last season. I don't know if they're going to be able to do that again this year. And then obviously the Eagles are the reigning NFC champs. Sorry, I couldn't think of the word. Reigning NFC champs. I think the Eagles are going to continue to be great, continue to be a top team in the league. So, with that being said, I don't think the Cowboys are winning the division. They also play the 40 teams like the 49ers. They play the let me look at this. Oh, they play the NFC West, and they play the AFC East. They play the NFC West and the AFC East. So they have to play the likes of the Dolphins, the Bills, the 49ers, the Chargers. They play some pretty solid teams, man. So, do I think the Cowboys take a step up from last season? To answer that question, no. I don't think so. But do I think they're going to be a bad team? No. I don't. I think they're going to be around the same level that they were last year. And I think they finish around the same level they finished last season. They probably get past the wild card round, but I don't think they make it past the divisional round. I think they get about 10 or 11 wins this season with a 10-7 or an 11-6 record, man. The Cowboys have always had, or for the most part, have had a solid team. They just haven't been able to get to that extra, reach that extra step, reach that extra mile. And I don't see them reaching that extra mile this season either. So I'm going to go either 11-6 or 10-7. Enough said on that one. Next, we have the Green Bay Packers. Oh, yes. The Cheeseheads. The Packers last year finished with an underwhelming 8-9 record with Aaron Rodgers at the helm. Now they don't have Aaron Rodgers at the helm, and they have Jordan Love at the helm, who's never been a full-time starter. He has had starting experiences, a couple of times when Aaron Rodgers was down, and now it's his team. It's his offense that he's going to be running. Without Aaron Rodgers, or with Aaron Rodgers, they finished below 500. Without Aaron Rodgers, I think they finish below 500, man. I think they're in a bit of a rebuilding mode, which is rare to see the Packers in rebuilding mode. They're one of those teams that just kind of have always stayed relevant for the most part. But I don't see them doing that great this year. They face the let me look at this. Their division's pretty decent. They have to face the Lions twice, the Vikings twice. They face the Broncos, which I think the Broncos are going to take a step up this year. They don't have an overbearing division. They don't have an overbearing schedule this year, but they're in more of a rebuilding mode. So I'm going to say that they finish about 6-11 this year. No disrespect to the Packers or anything like that. I just don't see them doing better without Aaron Rodgers. Maybe next year, Packers fans, but just not this year. Next, we have the Los Angeles Rams. The Rams are coming off another team that is coming off an underwhelming season. And look, man, I truly believe this is going to hurt a lot of Rams fans. I truly believe that the best football is behind them. I do. They've reached the mountaintop. They were Super Bowl champions. I just don't see them making it back up there, man. I just don't. They're very injury prone. I don't know why. They just dealt with a lot of injuries last year. And, they have to face their division. They face the likes of the 49ers, of the Bengals, of the Eagles, the Steelers, which I have high hopes for. The Ravens are always, there. Sorry about that. I should have silenced it. Where was I? The Ravens are always good. The 49ers twice. The Giants are, they did all right. The Cowboys, they have a bit of a schedule ahead of them, man. I don't have high hopes for the Rams this year. Maybe they eke out a 9-8 record, maybe an 8-9. I do think they're going to be better this season, but just not where they were. Maybe they eke out a 7 seed. I don't know, but I say they finish either 8-9 or 9-8. Man, that's it for the Rams. All right, and last but certainly not least, we have the team who did the best out of the 6 teams, which is the San Francisco Santa Clara 49ers. Now, the 49ers last year, or at least to Niner fans, probably finished in a bit of disappointment, and I really do sympathize with that because I'm a Dodger fan, and I face that feeling every season. Sorry, Sorry, man. I just wanted to know that I relate with that pain. Okay. But anyways, the 49ers, they finished off in the NFC Championship game, wound up losing to the Eagles, which was a very, very hard game to watch. Every quarterback went down for the Niners. I think they even had Christian McCaffrey as quarterback for some of the plays. It was a mess. It just was a mess. It was sad to see, and I'm not even a Niner fan. It was just sad to see, man. But going into this season, let's go into my biggest question mark. The biggest question mark for me is the quarterback situation. What's up with that, man? They signed Sam Darnold. They obviously have Brock Purdy. They had Trey Lance. Now, let me process this for a second. They only have 2 quarterbacks on the depth chart, I believe. 2, if I'm not mistaken, they only have 2. I'm sure they have a third string, but they had Trey Lance there. Knowing that your quarterbacks are, I wouldn't say they're injury prone, but knowing what happened last season, right? 4 quarterbacks went down, I think 4 quarterbacks went down, right? Most of your quarterbacks on your roster went down. and you're going to trade one away? What are you doing there, Niners? Now, look, I don't know all the details. We don't know all the details on why they traded Trey Lance. If I had to guess, I would say I'm assuming that Trey Lance requested a trade because he wasn't even going to be a second string quarterback. Blame Trey Lance? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. He did not really get a fair shake with the 49ers. And it's unfortunate. It's an unfortunate thing that happens sometimes. But he just didn't get a fair shake, man. And Brock Purdy went and he performed. So it just happens like that sometimes in this game. I just can't comprehend why, for one, they chose Saquon over Trey Lance on the depth chart, and why they traded away Trey Lance. I'm assuming he requested a trade. But there's just so many questions with the quarterback situation. Like, can they keep a quarterback healthy? That's the main question mark. And this thing with Bosa, too, they haven't been able to sign him. I kind of feel like they're doing what the Steelers did with T.J. Watt, 2 years ago or so. I truly believe that they're going to sign Bosa. I hope they sign Bosa. He's probably the best player on the team. It'd be a real shame if they traded him away or if they just let him walk. That is a huge letdown for the Niners. Which I don't think that's going to happen. I think they're going to sign him. I just think that they're still working things out. I think they're going to make it happen. I hope they make it happen. So I'm under that impression. So look, let's just look at their schedule. So they face the AFC North. They have their division, which is all right. And then they face the NFC East. They face the NFC East. So they do have a pretty roughish schedule, man. They have to face teams like the Bengals. Wow. Teams like the Bengals, teams like the Jaguars, the Eagles, the Ravens are always in the conversation, man. They don't have the easiest schedule. Okay. My biggest concern is, can they keep their quarterbacks healthy? Because the last couple of seasons, their quarterbacks have not been kept healthy. I don't know if it's the system that they're running or what. Their quarterbacks have been going down. And I'll say this. The Niners might have the best system in the NFL. They have arguably the top defense in the NFL. They have weapons. They have George Kittle. They have Deebo Samuel. They have Christian McCaffrey at running back. They have great tools. The one problem that the Niners have been having the past couple of seasons is the quarterback. So, if Brock Purdy stays healthy throughout the whole season, which I hope he does, I say the Niners go a good 12-5, man, or 13-4. Kind of like where they were at last season. I think they finished around the same. But they don't have as much quarterback depth as they did last season. So the ceiling for them is probably about 13 wins. But if they can't keep their quarterbacks healthy, man, then they might finish under 500. I'm telling you guys, it just, they need that quarterback. They need Purdy, man. Purdy is their guy. Okay, and that's been made evident. That's no secret or anything like that. So, Niners, a lot of questions going into the season, a lot of questionable decisions that happened this offseason. I hope they stay in the format they were last season. I hope that that the quarterbacks stay healthy, man. And if that happens, they're the most dangerous team in the NFL. They're at least number 3. Because they have the talent. They have what it takes to be Super Bowl champs. I think all of us see that. But will they make that step? I don't know. I don't know. you know. But man, that's all I really want to get into. I think the 49ers have the best shot at winning the Super Bowl this year to the other 6 teams. Um, I think the Steelers are second. Maybe I'm just biased. I don't know. But I think the team that's going to take the worst dip this season is probably the Packers. Out of the 6 teams, obviously, probably the Packers, only because they're in a true rebuilding stage. And yeah, man, that's all I really got to say. I would like to know, man, who do you guys think is gonna win the Super Bowl? What 2 teams are gonna go to Las Vegas this February? But most importantly, who do you think is walking out this season the reigning, defending, undisputed cruiserweight universal pick six champion of the world? If I can put this on right. Are you rooting for Team Senor Marin, the reigning defending champion? Or are you rooting for Team Cholo Trucker? Let me know your opinions in the comment section below. I'm ready for this season. I'm pumped up. We will be filming Pick Six. I think later on today. I don't know when we're gonna drop that video. Maybe Thursday or so. But hey, man, I'm psyched for the season. I hope the rest of you are too. And yeah, let's go Steelers, baby. Catch you guys in the next one.